I started running barefoot 2022 and people were laughing at me. And now this year, it's like I won the lottery. Everyone is going to barefoot. For me, man, barefoot is just freedom. I feel like I'm an animal. My barefoot run is very similar to a psychedelic trip. Pro athletes, they always train and run sometimes barefoot because also it activates a lot of power in your feet.
For someone that runs barefoot, what does your feet look like?
So after a run, they look black. They look like one with the asphalt. I have some calluses on the bottom of my sole. So this protects me if there is glass, if there is whatever on the streets. It just doesn't cut my feet. It just gets stuck. It's a bit painful. I remove it and I continue. So I always stand on an airboat like that. All my feet are activated. So I never had the problem of blisters. I didn't get the world record. So I had to run more than 110 kilometers in 12 hours for Guinness to consider it a world record. And I ran 105.
So close.
My doctor told me when I got diagnosed with cancer that I have to take the pills for the rest of my life. It's been 7 months that I'm not taking pills, and I just did my blood test, and I'm good as new.
Thank you so much for taking the time today. I first came across your content on Instagram. I was just scrolling through Instagram. I think it was you running on the side talking about the benefits of running barefoot. And I saw that video, and then I think you popped up on my feed more and more, and I went to your profile and you ran like 105 kilometers and you broke the record. I was like, I want to get this guy on my podcast. So that's how I came across you.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you. It's my pleasure to be with you, man.
So Ramy, yeah, I guess tell me and the audience a bit about what you've been focused on over the last 6 months.
So, I'm so much interested about human beings in general, what it means to be a human, and how to actually have the best experience of life. So it's since 4 or 5 years that was all my concern and still is. And the more I get deeper in it, the more I discover stuff, and the more it intrigues me more and more. I have a motto and a brand called Let's Live, which is living the good life. And how do you live the good life? It is about with challenging yourself, and that's what I like. My book talks more about the philosophy and how I used this philosophy to change my life from late night parties, alcohol, all the nonsense. It's not nonsense. Like I don't judge anyone who does it, but I mean I was overdoing it like, and this was stopping me from actually open up to this new realm of life, of actually feeling alive and like doing something worthwhile for yourself first before everyone. And then when you focus so much on yourself, things started to pick up. Uh, Social media started to pick up, the brand started to pick up, the family got better, the friendships, the relationships, so all life elevated. So the last 6 months was just looking more in depth and understanding what it means to be a human in depth.
Ramy, when you wake up, are you just motivated and ready to attack the day? Like for example, last night I slept early, I read a book, and then this morning, like I was exhausted, got out of bed, changed clothes, and slowly bit by bit am I able to build momentum till where I'm now, and I feel really good now. But man, the morning I had to push through it. Like I did not want to start the day.
Yeah. You know, this is, I think, the a problem that we don't have much knowledge about it, and that's what stops people from doing a lot of things. If you ask now, if you go on the streets, me and you, and we ask 100 people, would you like to wake up early? I think 99 they would say yes, I would like to wake up early. And if you ask them again, do you wake up early? They tell you, no, I don't. I can't wake up early. And out of researching, studying, and working with people individually and collectively about this subject, sleep is something that we didn't understand. What does it mean to sleep? First of all, the most important aspect of us being a human is sleep and the quality of sleep. But for you, in order to get this amount of time that have a good sleep, that whenever you wake up, you feel you're ready to move and to go out. You don't need motivation. All those motivation, it's mental orgasm, bro. It's like someone is selling you something. What you actually need is to understand what are you eating, how's your body, how's your digestive system, how is your blood circulation, how's your heart, and how's your quality of sleep, and what you're actually doing before you go to bed. You know, so those aspects we start working on tackling one by one. I'll give you also an example. Mainly most of the problem go to sleep and they tell me, man, I try to sleep and stuff like that, yet they are holding a lot of trauma, a lot of stress. So even if they are asleep, the nervous system is not rested, so it's they are still in fight or flight mode. So even if they sleep, they are not getting the rest that you need. That's one aspect. The second aspect, those are the pillars of why people don't wake up very early. And the second is food. Food is not very much understandable how it affects your life. If you eat throughout the day more than your body needs, so your digestive system needs more time to digest what you ate. So instead of having 7 hours enough for you to sleep, you might need 8.5, 9, which is messes your circadian rhythm, which is messes your sleep, which is a dominoes effect. You know what I mean? Like one falls, all the rest fall. You start fixing one by one. So for you, Andy, we have to understand how's your food, how's your blood circulation, how's your body movement, how do you approach the movement from your body, what do you eat, and how much. I don't mean by calories. For me, like I never go to a meal and finish my meal and feel like, oh my god, I ate so much. I never have this problem. You know what I mean? And this is one that gives me a lot of advantage. Whenever I want to wake up, already my body is always relaxed.
Interesting. Do you take days off, Rami? Because I do notice that maybe if I'm working 10 days in a row, by the 11th and 12th day, I'm waking up very, like it's a grind to push through the morning.
100%. Um, Look, it depends. Sometimes I have like 2 3 months no days off. Sometimes I have maybe 3 consecutive days that I'm not really feeling inspired, or because life is ups and downs. No matter how much positive I am, sometimes something happens and puts me down. And usually, and recently I discovered this, that the only time that I feel down is if there is something happening in my life. When I say my life, it means my life and my close circle life. And this is what drags me down. So, but it takes me a while to understand what is it exactly, because even your friends or the people that you really love, sometimes they put layers to protect themselves and to protect us. But for me, it has always to be all open, all honest, all real, to understand if there is a problem somewhere, it drags me down. Yes. And usually when I'm down is when I don't know what's the problem. The moment I discover it, because you need to assess some data, let your mind sleep, close your eyes, and try to see. You can never have a problem, like I'm talking like deep problem as trauma or something that happened unconsciously with you recently or from the past that it showed up. This is all the things that can really pull a human really down. So at the beginning, I just have to understand the state, and once I do, uh, I'm up. And like once I find the problem, it's easy. Then you start thinking, okay, what's the solution? What's the solution? Once you shift your mind into knowing what's the problem, I'm always up. Like I'm ready to run. I'm ready to work. I'm ready to whatever it takes, as long as it takes.
Interesting. Now, what if it's a problem that it's not simple to find a solution for? Like, for example, one of the things that's been weighing on my shoulders is the fact that my company, we've run out of money. I have 10 employees. Each month I'm scraping by, I'm making it work. And I've gotten used to sort of living pay slip to pay slip for all my team members and making payroll. But maybe that is weighing on me, and then maybe that's causing me to be a bit more stressed. Maybe not. How do I find out what's causing me to be a bit more sort of tired each morning?
Look, first of all, uh, for me, I think me and you and most of the people who are watching this podcast, I don't think ever in our life you're gonna be poor enough to not have food on your table, right? One, two, I don't think we will ever be poor enough. And when I say poor, it just means I'm just talking about the financial aspect, because there's a lot of rich people who are poor, but now we're just talking about the financial aspect, right? So whenever you understand this concept, like I'm sure probably there's 2 3 people in your life that if really things went really bad, they can come and tell you, Andy, take this money, sort it out, and whenever you're good, right? We're in this bit. So once you know that, I think it's a challenge, of course, to look at like sometimes financial issues and stuff like that. It is a challenge, but I don't let this get stuck in me so much. I've been broke and I've had money, and in both, it never affected my peace. You know, so I built a nice concept about, okay, money is a skill. right? Money is a psychology, is a skill. So the more I'm open to it, the more I can understand how to add value to people, add service, and get money on the table. And whenever the times are down, I try to understand the concept. It's like a puzzle, yeah, challenge, riddle, whatever you want to call it. So from this aspect, this just gives me peace that it's okay not to be stressed about money. What actually causes people stress, and in nowadays, it is when you have a problem and you're escaping the problem. And actually, it's not that you're escaping the problem, that you don't know what's the problem. This could be the actual weight on the shoulder, the individual that I work with one-on-one, and we always look at what could really be the stressful, that people say, I'm stressed. Why people say that I'm stressed in the job? Because you have a boss and you don't like the boss. So the options for you to get out of the stress is to change a job, or like let go of this job. And both of them are very hard decisions to make. You're changing your routine, you're changing your habit, your paycheck, all that. You know what I mean? So stress, the weight on our shoulder of stress, is a problem that we don't know that the problem exists. And even if we know the problem exists, we're not facing our problems.
Interesting. And I think you're right. People are always distracting themselves. So, like, I've been trying to eat dinner in silence, not watch YouTube, not listen to a podcast, not listen to music, and just sit with my emotions. And I do feel that if there was a day where, like, I had a day recently where I had two podcasts, it was like 2 hours, 2 hours, I had a meeting in between. It was just like 5 hours of just intense listening. And man, by the end of the day, I was eating dinner and I just felt so down. And I was just feeling it. I was down, I was lonely, I was not like I was just sad, but I sat with that feeling. Is that normal and did I do the right thing?
Of course, man. It's as you said, man. We live in an age that to be numbed is the easiest thing ever. Distracted and numb, right? Drugs is more accessible ever in life, and alcohol is everywhere. That's not it. That's not just it. I'm just targeting all of that. Phone that is always in your hand. That whenever you feel down, you can just open and scroll, and you just numb, right? Fake people who smile to other fake people just to. It's like, I don't want to show you my truth, and I know that you're not showing your truth, but I'm smiling and you're smiling, and yeah, we're just killing time. And what's actually happening is like time is killing us. So what you did is amazing. I said once, and I wrote it in my book, that sit with pain a little, sit with hunger a little, sit with uh, pain, hunger, and all those sad emotions with fear a little. Sit with them willingly, because one day they will come to you unwillingly. So it's better to be prepared and understanding how to deal with those emotions.
I love that. Now, I've been working a lot over the last week, and every night I'm sitting with these tough emotions. As much as I want to call a friend, listen to a podcast, watch something to distract me from it, I've been sitting with it. Is it because I'm working a lot? Is it normal to happen every night? Will there be a day where I finish work and I feel happy?
Yes, you should, man. But to understand this, we have to look back in the past 6 months or 1 year, or like even previous than that. Did anything happen that did you have any shock, any accident, any near-death experience, any near-death friend who, or a death of a friend? One, two. Did you lose something that was so much important in your life? It could be a pet, it could be a job. I know that you have your own compass. I'm just saying the in general. So we always have to look, the body keeps the score, and the body is so powerful when it is fully healed. When we say healed, it has a lot of depth to it. Healed means that you actually dealt with everything. Like, does your last breakup still comes to your head and tell you you shouldn't have broke up, you shouldn't have break up, or you know what I mean? You have to look at every aspect of your life, and it's not I don't like to call it hard, but it's challenging and it takes time. So so this is what happens, especially us entrepreneurs. I always say that there's phases in my life that I'm an entrepreneur, and there's phases in my life that I'm spiritual seeker, because the more I heal and the more I grow on a spiritual level, I can grow as an entrepreneur. And the more I can grow as an entrepreneur, I can make more time and make more space for myself to grow on a spiritual path. You know what I mean? So it's good to understand that the body keeps the score for everything. So whenever you're feeling tired physically, it could be from the emotional burden, and it could be uh, from physical exhaustion. But you have to target those two. And one more thing I want to add, Andy, is especially for entrepreneurs that they work a lot of hours on their jobs that they forget themselves, right? So you actually build an amazing career, but you're forgetting to build a life. So that's why for me, I say before you start work, before you start anything, wake up and run, go in nature, be in peace. And I run barefoot because, like, go back to being an ancestor, a human that uh, there was no technology, there was nothing that brings you to this era. Go back a little bit, find peace. And this is where actually, like, most of my discoveries came, most of my realization came in my long runs and in my meditation.
Got it. Very interesting. Rami, are you an introvert? Like when you go out, meet people, surrounded by people, does that give you energy? Does it drain your energy?
I am an introvert in the AM, an extrovert in the PM. I have my time when I'm alone that I would love to be alone, and I have time when I'm out. Like, I love to meet a lot of people, know, like, connect, understand where they are, what they are doing, what there are plans. I like meaningful talk. That's like I don't like stupid talks and like shallow things. I like everything I look into in depth. It's like nature, man. Nature doesn't do anything like, I just have a tree, or it has a fucking amazing ecosystem with every bit of a detail, with every insect doing something. So I like to understand as much as I can whenever I'm out and talking with people. It's a beautiful thing. You learn something from everyone.
Yeah, I love that. Because I think as we're talking, I was thinking back, like every time I sort of have a late night out, spend time with people, I usually like to have deep, meaningful conversations, get deep, get to know the person, listen, ask questions, learn who are they as a person. Man, the next day, I'm exhausted, I'm down, I'm empty. I don't know if it's a spiritual thing, it's a mental energy thing, but I'm depleted the next day.
Wow. You have two people. There are people who drains your energy, and there are people who fills on your energy. And it's it takes a high self-awareness for you to realize what you just said. So it's good for you to understand that, okay, when I'm seeing this person, how am I feeling the next day? And later you start to understand, okay, this person, no grudge and no hate and anything, but I mean, like, I don't want to see this person now. You know what I mean? I want to see this person because every time I see him, it's like it fills my cup. And probably if he's filling your cup, probably you're doing the same. So it takes a lot of self-awareness, and that's a really good thing, Andy.
Thank you, Rami. I love how your book is sort of about the art of living, how to live. Is that the same of sort of finding the meaning of life? Like, what is the purpose of life? Is that similar to what your book is about and what you try to teach?
Yeah. So I talk so much about how to feel alive, which is finding meaning, finding purpose, and all what you said. Um, and I think I posted on my story 2 days ago. Like, everyone is searching for happiness, but actually, what we should be searching for is meaning. Because once you find meaning, the pain and the suffering that you're facing will become your joy, because it has meaning. I'm not just facing pain for no reason. Whenever you put meaning for your pain, it's just you become an elevated human being. So yeah, in the book I just discuss, because look, all of us look at, so if probably correct me if I'm wrong, if the moment before, when you didn't have much money, you thought that people who has money are happier than you, and then you made money, and then you realize, okay, I'm still at the same point where I started. You say, okay, maybe if this guy had a beautiful girlfriend or a partner or a wife, I will be happy. And you go have this one and say, man, I'm still at the same place. I'm still at the same place. Anything. You say, I want to run a marathon. You weren't a runner, and then you become in the same place. So actually, you are chasing your shadows, right? You're chasing something that it's not attainable. So what I talk about is for you, if you define why you're running a marathon, why you want to make so much money, you want to support your family, you want to like think about your family as kids, or your mom and dad or whatever. If you put meaning, and meaning could be, man, very simple. Like people are searching for, man, life is so simple. Meaning could be, I just want to try to add more value to my family, my friends. I just want to try, that's how I just want to, the first meaning could be, I just want to feel 1% happier every day. Like just want to feel a little bit better every day, you know? And that's when life starts, because everyone is looking at, I start here and looking at that far. And that's why I discussed in the book, like it's about those small changes, those small beliefs. First, you have to change your belief step by step. You wake up at 12 p.m. I used to wake up at 12 p.m. My first belief and my first meaning was for me to wake up at 11:30. That's it. It's not I wanted to wake up at 5 a.m. It doesn't make sense. So meaning, and for us to feel alive, first you have to define meaning, and meaning should be very simple, very simple. A purpose, a small meaning, because you will not figure it out like straight away from day one. It's something that you will figure out along the journey, and then doing those small changes in your life, like I find, like, my meaning that I tell people, everyone's meaning could be, life is a game. If now you're playing a video game and you are your own character, what would you like your character to do? How would you like your character to spend the day? How would you like your character to do? If you can't think that way, man, you're on top of the world.
Interesting, I love that. Rami, do you think everyone has a unique meaning or why or purpose? And if so, how does one find it?
Uh, it could be, like, I think the meaning of life is just exploring life in all its dimensions. That's everyone's meaning. And I think this is the first layer. The deeper layer is to find God, to find, why am I the only species who is conscious? And when I say this, I know that a lot of people are afraid of that, but try to look into, if you are an atheist, try to look into religion. If you are a religious man, try to look into atheist. If you're a Christian, look into Islam. If you're a Muslim, look into Hinduism. Because once you start digging deep in all that, you will find a similarity in all of them, and that will give a meaning to your life. Because I realize the people that I work with, that they are the most lost in a way, that I don't know what to do next, not on a career wise, as a core of their beliefs. It's like they believe that in nihilism. I don't know if it's nihilism. It's like you don't believe in any, like there's nothing. So so once you find something that makes sense for you, that find meaning for you, you're just gonna have more meaning in doing whatever it is.
Got it. And Rami, what religion are you sort of following, and what did you learn when you looked into a different religion?
I am I say about myself, I have no religion. It doesn't mean that I'm an atheist. I believe in God, and I know the core of every religion. Though on the other hand, there's a lot of points in every religion that I don't like. I think humans change it to control the masses somehow. It's just like it became a business somehow. But the core of every religion, it's a beautiful thing. If you understand every religion, whether it was Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Taoism, Stoicism, uh, if you look in depth of all of them, it's like different peaks, different roads to the same peak. You just have to find, like, yes, you are God, Andy. I am God. You now can decide to hurt someone, or you can decide to make someone smile. You can decide to hurt yourself, or you can decide to make yourself good. A cat doesn't have this choice. It's controlled by her instinct. It has to eat, and it has to do what it has to do. But you're a God. You have a choice to create whatever you want. You can create a lot of bad things, and you can create a lot of good things. So I think this should give you a meaning, that if you are part of this existence, and you are a minor god, maybe there is a bigger god that you are part of him. It makes sense. It's like, look at it that way. Look at your cells. Your cells are doing a lot of things for you to have a healthy life, right? They are fighting diseases, delivering oxygen to your organs, all that, right? And then they are reproducing for you to have a good life. So they are also doing their job on a daily basis for you to live a good life. So think about this organism on a bigger aspect. You are a cell in a bigger organism that if you can do good, this bigger thing that I'd like to call it God or life or the universe is having a better life. So my job is to always look at things and try to do my best, not just because of for me, because it is, I believe that I'm a part of something bigger.
I
What do
really
you think
like
about this concept?
I really like it how in the body, if there's a virus or a sickness, all the good cells will work together on trying to destroy that sort of that virus that's in the body, and that sort of naturally happens. And I guess if I'm looking at life, well, we're in, I don't know if it's because of social media, but it looks like there's a lot of evil in the world. There's a lot of sort of viruses in the world, and the good cells seem to be losing this fight. Hopefully that's not the case, but I do like what you shared.
Yeah, it's look, I don't think the evil is like lately has been more than good. On the opposite, I believe like good, we are getting into an era of more self-awareness. Like you now are aware of your emotions, right? You are now speaking to me about things. I don't think we will have this conversation 10 years back. I'm just saying 10 years back. Imagine 30, right? So we are being more aware. We are waking up as spiritual beings, as conscious beings. On the other hand, the problem is that social media knows that if it shows you something negative, it will have more impact on you. You will watch more negative stuff because that's how the news is, man. The news is all just in, like putting fear and worry and stress and all that. Why? Because they know that you're gonna keep on watching and watching. So I think this is a game that we are playing, even though we decide not to play it. But if we are aware of it, that you know how to distance yourself and try to do the best you can.
Yeah, and I think recently I remember I was on this road trip. I met this group of hippies, but they were like very educated, and they're telling me about tap water, seed oils, weather manipulation, fluoride in toothpaste. They were telling me about all these things, and it was like, man, like everything's trying to kill us. What can we do? It feels like everything is made to kill us.
I know, I know, I know. Look, to be honest, like it's funny that now to do the healthy thing costs a lot of money, and to do the cheap thing is very easy and very accessible, right? And this blows my mind. Like, why, if I want to buy a chicken that is a natural chicken, it doesn't have to be organic. It's a natural chicken that was born and raised in a farm without this antibiotics and all that. Why should I pay double the price of a chicken that had antibiotics? It should be the opposite, no? So we know this, right? Let's say, yeah, let's say there is something bigger than us that's trying to take us in the wrong direction. And that's why I push so much on understanding that us humans, we are so powerful. You are divine, my friend. As I told you, you are God. You have a choice to do good and bad. This is that none of the other species on Earth has this capability. A lion eats his prey because he has to eat. He doesn't kill someone just for the sake of killing it, right? So yes, a lot of processed shit, a lot of bad stuff that we put in our body. Why? Because whenever you put bad stuff in your body, it brings you down, right? You're not being able to wake up. I'm not being able to wake up every day in the morning. Why you can't wake up in the morning? Because whenever you're in the morning, you are more in tune with all this. Like today, it's 7:15 here. I'm talking with you. I woke up at 4:30, okay, and I sat down in my garden. I didn't work out today because I'm gonna work out later. So I sat down, drink my tea, read a book, and I feel like I'm connected with all this nature. I feel like I'm in ultimate peace. Yet when you start waking up at 11, 12, it's already noisy. You're already lost. You're already not feeling good. You're already, so they want that somehow. Let's say this evil power. But it's good for us to realize this and be the good power, because this is the balance of life and death, right? Good and bad, the yin and yang, everything is the yin and yang. So I would like to put more in the bucket of the good. I would like to always, my videos always about just understand who you are, how powerful you are, what are the things that you can do. I and now especially my doctor told me when I got diagnosed with cancer that I have to take the pills for the rest of my life. It's been 7 months that I'm not taking pills, and I just did my blood test, and I'm good as new. I'm not taking anything. It's been 7 months. It takes a lot of courage. Like I was so much afraid, I afraid in a way that I see fear, but I don't act based on fear. And I kept on pushing, and I believe, and we are powerful. I believe that if I walk in nature, I believe that for you to seek God, to seek this good, you have to go in nature. That where you will find God, right? So go out, talk with nature, go out in the sun, let the sun touches your skin, let the sand touches your feet. Be there, be as a human as you were always, and you are so powerful. And then sit in silence, close your eyes. Whenever you close your eyes, funny enough that if you learn how to close your eyes, soon enough you will be able to see. And that's what people don't understand. When you close your eyes, yes, you see your thoughts, you see your life, you see your reflection, you see all that. And this is what we call it the third eye. It is when you start seeing your life as an observer, not just spending my life. And that when you can say, okay, like now I if I want to eat ice cream, I will go eat ice cream. And I know it's filled of sugar, seed oil, all this candy sunflower and all this nonsense. But I know that I'm not stuck into this realm. I don't like do it based on no. Like today I don't need to eat ice cream. Let me skip ice cream for a few days. Let me just try to eat good stuff. One day if I feel like yesterday I had a sugar crave that was amazing. I ate a donut, a cookie, and a big ice cream in one meal. I felt now I don't feel that great. Like I know this 1% difference, but I had it. Okay, I do it. And then the rest, no man. I want my body to be as much as I can feeling the best it can, because when my body is feeling good, my mind is feeling good. When my mind is feeling good, I can tap into my heart. I can connect to this ultimate power for me to become the best human I can be and actually do something in this life. Do something. It doesn't have okay. I'm blessed now that my social media is getting all over the world, and I'm getting like the book is like accessible in all over the world, and I'm receiving a lot of messages. I'm blessed. But for me, all I care about, like genuine, all I care about is to keep inspiring myself, inspiring the people around me, and trying to do good every day on my scale.
I love that. Tell me about it, your cancer. How did that happen? What type of cancer was it? Did you have to go through chemo? And how did you end up beating it, Ramy? That's such a motivational story.
Well, cancer is the best thing that ever happened in my life, because I don't think I will be here. Cancer was the first trigger, and then I went on different things that I discovered a lot about life. So let me just before I jump that quick. So in 2017, at the beginning of 2016, I felt sick for a month, 2 months, fatigue, exhaustion, sweating at night, not able to, like I was sleeping 10 hours, not being able to wake up. So it's like, I'm dead, but I'm alive. So at 8/1/2017, I went to the hospital and they discovered that I have leukemia, blood cancer. So I started treatment on Monday, and my treatment were pills because my body reacted very well on the pills. My white blood cells dropped really quick. So usually you should have maximum of 10,000 white blood cells in a microliter of blood. Okay, I think I got it right. If I didn't get it right, I'm sorry about those numbers. I always get confused. And I had 210,000 white blood cells in a microliter. So I could have died of blood clot because there was a lot of white blood cells. So when I started taking the pills, they dropped from 200,000 till 100,000 in like 24 hours. So I continue on those pills. So we skipped chemo for a while, and then I started the treatment specifically for my cancer, which is pills that are chemo, but way less than taking it in the blood and way less damaging on the body. It's a smart technology of triggering just the bad cells. So at this point, I'm blessed about the medical sector in this phase because I don't like the medical sector in general, but in this phase, I appreciate it, and I'm blessed to have this. So later, like for 5 6 years, I kept on taking the pills. My blood after six months and almost a year, my body and my blood tests were all good, but I have to keep on taking the pills.
Mm.
So I kept taking the pills, and the doctor believes that I have to keep on taking them for the rest of my life. First, as precaution, and not to all that. And I always wanted to stop the pills. I believe that the same way that I did a lot of bad stuff, bad karma to my body, thinking bad, eating bad, sleeping bad, all those things, I'm sure that I affected my body in a negative way. So I said, if I can reverse all that, I can heal myself, and I know that my body can heal itself. And at the beginning of 2024, I decided that at 2023, I started reducing the dosages slowly but surely, and letting my body understand and my mind. So the thing is, when people are adapted to pills, there is something in your mind that is used to this pills, regardless if it's a sugar pill or if it's an empty pill, right? So first, I was trying to reprogram my mind that we don't need those pills. So reducing the dosage, and then one day on, one day off, and then one day on, 2 days off. Like it's just to reprogram my mind. That's it. And then 2024, I said I'm gonna stop the pills, and so far my results are really good, and I'm completely off everything.
Wow. In most research or most case studies, can people do this? Is leukemia permanent for the rest of your life? Are you the first person that's been able to sort of get off the pills and the white blood cells didn't go up?
So my type is called chronic myeloid leukemia, and when they say chronic, it means like it's a chronic, right? It's how the medical sector believes. I don't believe what the medical sector. I also talked about it in my book that in a study, when you're studying 100 person, you can come up with the statistics, right? But if you take one individual, you can't come up with the statistics. There is no 70% and 30%. It's one individual. It's either yes or no. Right? It's either you healed or you didn't. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know much people with my case. I know that there was one who took the treatment for 10 years. And the last time I talked with the doctor, he told me that he tried to stop the pills for her, but I didn't know what happened next, right? But for me, I looked at things at a personal level. I understand my case very well. I know a lot about the body. I love the body so much that I studied in the immune system, psychology, the gut, how everything functions, our nervous system, how our neuron, like all those things. So I have enough knowledge and let's say enough knowledge for me to take this risk. And I know I'm taking a risk, but hey, man, life is risky. Since you were born, it's risky, right?
I love it. And I think, I don't know what's your thoughts on this, but I remember hearing a saying how God sort of gives you cancer or gives you a sickness or puts you in a bad situation when you're not living in line with your purpose.
That's fully true. I believe in that as well. I just phrase it in a different way. So whenever you're out of your line, life will hit you with some rock bottom stuff to shake your foundation and ask yourself, like, where am I going? And sometimes people are so lost over there that you end up not realizing this wake up call. So yeah, life and God will always, because they don't speak how we speak, right? If there is something higher than us, it speaks with, as I say, like if you stand up in front of a tree, of a mango tree, and you tell it, hey, I want mango, hey, I want mango, and you stand up for 3 years, will the tree gives you mango? Of course not. If you plant the seed, take care of the tree, water it, take care of the sun, remove the insects and all that, it will give you mangoes, right? So so the same thing goes with God. God will not listen to your words, but actually it will listen to your action, see your action. So whenever you're like out track, papa, wake up. And then I might not have been here. I could have went back to my old life, and eventually I'm gonna maybe still have cancer, or if not cancer, maybe something else, right? Whatever you put in this world, it will come back to you. Anything that you put in, it has to come out.
As a spiritual person, Rami, that you've studied and taken away so many things from many different religions, do you have any daily prayer or daily gratitude exercise? And yeah, do you do any of that?
I just wake up every day, and whenever I'm hitting my run, I say, and I share it as a story on my Instagram. Rather than Sean, baby, it's gonna be a good day to have a great day. That's what I say every day. And even now when I'm saying to you, I already had goosebumps. It's like I start the day with saying this to myself, and I always, now it's been since start 24 that I say to myself, my body can heal itself. When I'm running, whenever I get the time to remember, my body can heal itself. I'm powerful more than beyond my imagination. So it's like I just reassure my mind, my body, my heart, all the all the small cells that we are good, we are alive, and we are blessed.
Rami, tell me about the barefoot running. Do you think the barefoot running played a big part in your recovery, or do you think the barefoot running is one of the many things that played a part of your recovery?
You know what's funny, Andy? I started running barefoot and like spending most of my time barefoot 2022, and people were laughing at me. And now this year, it's like I won the lottery. Like all the studies, all the big names, Gary Brecka, all the scientists, everyone is going to barefoot. Like how barefoot is important, reduce inflammation. And like back then, man, I maybe let's say I felt it, but I didn't know how to put it into words, and I didn't have enough knowledge to describe it. And now I look back and I say, wow, man, it's like I was there, guys, before anyone knew that, like, it wasn't that common. It could look, there's not enough study so far. Like, we are coming to realize how important it is, how it is relieving for the body. But also, you have to keep in mind that sometimes when I run on asphalt, it is asphalt, not actual ground. So maybe it's not 100% of the effects, but those are small details. For me, man, barefoot is just freedom. I feel so free. I when I run barefoot, man, I feel like I'm an animal. Really, man. If you see me after, let's say I'm running more than 10K, because for me to like get into a nice state, I need 8, 10K. And if you see me after 10K, bro, you, especially on the roads, people look at me as if I'm an animal. I'm an animal who left his leash somewhere and he's just running, and I get so much in touch with my with myself, with God, with earth, with whatever you want to call it. Like, I don't know how to put it into words, but this is something that I have, like, my barefoot runs is very similar to a psychedelic trip. You know what I mean? It's like it is that much intense and that much fills me with good stuff every day, and makes me like forget about this technology, forget about all what we live in today's era, and I just come back to being this primal species that is doing its thing regardless of anything else. You know what I mean? I know that science will prove a lot of what I already felt, but regardless of that, it gives me something beyond understanding and explaining for people what it does. Only the people who tried barefoot running, that they are understanding what I'm saying.
Right. So over the last 6 months, I've been running, training, and my goal is to do 5 kilometers at a 5 minute pace. And I'm thinking about just throwing that goal out the window and start running barefoot.
Also, I realized you can do that. I also realized pro athletes in their training, runners, ultra runners, and like fighters, they always train and run sometimes barefoot, because also it activates a lot of power in your feet. All your power comes from your feet, right? And the shoes takes a lot of your balance, a lot of your power, a lot of your all that. So it activates them when you're doing that barefoot. So what you can do uh, is you can give it a shot. Like, go run slow, run a shorter distance than 5K, run slow, and run in a place that you know it's safe for you to run at the beginning, and experiment, man. It's just, I assure you, Andy, you're gonna feel something that you've never felt before.
I'm definitely going to try it. Rami,
Yeah.
for someone that runs barefoot, what does your feet look like? Is it like callus? Is it rock? What does your feet look like after running barefoot?
I have so after a run they look black. You don't know my feet from asphalt. They look like one with the asphalt. But yeah, I have some calluses on the bottom of my sole. The Because of running barefoot for a while and walking barefoot and all that. So this protects me if there is glass, if there is whatever on the streets. It just doesn't cut my feet. It just gets stuck. It's a bit painful. I remove it and I continue. You know what I mean? So it's the body always protects itself. It knows very well what to do. And plus, you know that when you're running barefoot, especially the people who are not that much of a runners, I tell them run barefoot, because you can't run wrong barefoot. You can't run wrong. Your body knows how to run barefoot by itself. So the shoes, the problems that we're facing right now, because people who doesn't know how to run well and they put on shoes, you have a possibility to run wrong, to put your heels first, to have pressure on your knees, to like make false step. When you're doing it barefoot, you have none of that.
Love that. So, for example, me or someone that's listening, after this podcast, I'm gonna run barefoot this afternoon. I was planning on doing a normal run with my sneakers and shoes, but I'm gonna do it barefoot. Any advice? Like what distance? How far should I go? I remember walking to the park barefoot and I came back and I had cuts on my feet and it was just me walking.
Really? Okay. So I think it's very important for you to know. First is the first, like at the beginning of your journey of the barefoot, experimenting with barefoot, first you have to run slow, not fast. One. Two is like make it 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Don't look at so much at kilometers. Like look at a small time, right? 10 minutes, then stop, look at your feet. Your feet are okay, or there is like a possibility of a blister or stuff like that. For me also, what helps so much is I have the nail boards. You know the nail boards.
No.
So it's a wood that has nails on it, small nails, small nails.
Okay.
Okay. So I usually stand up on the nail. That's why I had no blisters ever in my life. So I always you stand on the nail board for like 2-3 minutes. Like that, all my feet are activated, and then I go run. Like that, there is blood flow, there is all that. So I never had the problem of blisters. But if you don't have nail board, you just have to activate your feet a little before you go and run straight away. So if you have a place where there is few rocks or something, you just stand on them and just move a little. So like that, all your body understand, oh, because wearing shoes for like 20 years, it just kills our feet, right? So you just have to wake them up slowly and then run slowly. Try not to run on a hot asphalt or a hot surface because this raises the possibility of having a blister. And run 10 minutes, then check your feet. You feel you're fine. You can run 5 more minutes, check your feet, another five, and then come back home, let them relax. And trust me, the day that you're going to do that, you're going to come back home and you're going to feel like there is a new life in your feet that you never knew it existed.
I'm gonna do it this afternoon. I'm gonna send you some photos, Rami, and I'll keep you updated.
Yes, please do. I would love to. I would love to.
Rami, I love how you've been publicly sort of sharing your goals. It feels like it's like a lost art. Like people always talk about New Year's resolution, but over the last few years, I feel like I'm hearing less and less, and it feels like you're bringing it back every year. You talk about your goals and you update it. You say, last year these were my goals. This is what I achieved. This is what I didn't achieve. I love how you've been bringing back the public sharing of people's goals.
Yeah, it's that's 2023. I said last year, like I said, man, there's some stuff that we do that is something inside of you. There's a calling inside of you, right? Intuition. I had this intuition, like, okay, man, it's time to go to the next level. I have a lot. I've been reading a lot. I've been studying a lot. I've been experimenting a lot. I know how to create nice videos. I understand people. I said, okay, let me try to do something with all my knowledge. And I put on this list of my goals. And man, it's just like the video went big and people appreciated it so much. And I ended up actually achieving all the goals of 2003 except being on Joe Rogan's podcast. And to be completely honest, I knew that I wasn't going to be on Joe Rogan's podcast in 2023. I knew that this goal specifically needs some time, you know, but I knew it's going to happen. I know 100% sure it's going to happen, but I don't know when. The rest, I said, let me see. Let me speak them out loud. Let me put it as a video and let me go fully in on my beliefs. And it just brought me to where I am today. Like even this year, and funny enough, bro, this year now, all my goals that I wrote for this year, I only achieved publishing my book. The rest, I didn't achieve anything yet, and I don't know how to achieve them, to be honest. All I know is I wake up every day and I try to do my best and seeing how life will unfold.
I love that. And I remember watching the video of how you met Sadhguru and how a viewer saw you. Did you mention that goal once, or have you consistently mentioned it again and again so that people know? Or did you do it just once at the beginning of 2023?
I mentioned it once at TAS 2023, and then in December, I knew that he's coming to Dubai, and I said, "Hey, life, I know what you're doing there. You know, you're just giving me because I was sending him a DM. I know that he's not in the one control of his DM, but his team, and I was sending him a DM every day. Like every day is different. Hey, I'm Ramy, and I'm looking. I would like to meet you. I'm ready to travel, do a program, whatever. But they were not replying, so I kept on sending a DM every day for all the year, every day, sending a DM. So in December, whenever I saw him is coming to Dubai, I'm like, hey, like I know what you're doing there. It's time to me to take this other step. And that when he arrived to Dubai, I pushed on videos. I'm like, I know how to make good videos. I know how to speak about my ideas, and let me put the word out there. And man, like I've been blessed with how many people supported the idea. His page was bombarded, and then we ended up like making it happen. It was a beautiful moment, to be honest.
That's amazing. Rami, have you always been good at making videos and speaking and talking? Like, did you start this journey in 2017, or when did you start this social media, barefoot running, Guinness World Record journey, and what started it?
So no, man, I have zero knowledge about videos, about like all that. I acquired it along the way. Like that's 20. I said, fuck man, I was a magician back then. I said, fuck man, I don't like what I am. I always said I want to achieve, I want to do big, but I'm not doing none. So I said, okay, what's the best solution? I think social media and videos is the best option. I said, okay, I have zero knowledge about videos and all that. So I'm gonna buy a camera, which I bought a small cam, vlogging cam, and I started creating videos. If you watch those videos, you will laugh your ass off, man. and I kept doing it, getting better, filming my magic, and then I started falling in love with filming a sunset, and then I started falling in love with creating a story, like telling my story or someone else's story, and then my skills got better. Uh, my English got better, and I worked on my English. My speaking got better, and I work on how to speak, how to use my voice. I worked on every aspect along the way. So at 2023, I felt like, yeah, man, I can. Let me try to take this next step. What am I gonna lose? I'm gonna fail. I don't care. I've been failing all my life. Who cares? No one knows about any. Like I've made videos that they are online, bro. There's 50 views on them. They're still online on my YouTube channel. Who cares, man? I don't fucking care. No one really care about me. So I said, let me just try to do what I always think. Let me try to do something that makes sense for me. And one thing that really made me achieve what I achieved today, that I've been doing videos and getting 50 views, but it was getting me so much sense of achievement to myself. I was the one clapping for myself. Like I was happy with what I'm doing, what I'm creating. I'm the first one who watched my videos. I'm the first one who read my book. You know that? As soon as it was printed, I was the first one who read it from cover to cover. It's just because if I can keep on creating work that it inspires me, I know that I'm gonna keep on creating beautiful things for this world. And if I'm just gonna wait to seek validation from someone for me to create this, and someone tell me, "Oh, this is nice," I know that I'm gonna get lost. So this is what happened with videos, and then like while now I'm posting videos, I'm acquiring more. My knowledge is getting bigger and better, and like I'm always learning constantly, every day, learning from people, learning from books, learning from from experience, from my own experience. Like I've passed through a lot of bad stuff, and I learned, and like a breakup, how I dealt with my breakup, and I spoke about it. You know what I mean? How I dealt with my. I used to drink alcohol and couldn't go out if I don't drink alcohol. How now I go out and I don't drink. You know what I mean? I played with drugs before, and like I understand everything. I don't talk about anything. I just study. I study and then I experience, and then I try it with, because now people also trust me, and we have a team that we can experiment on people, like help people with their addiction, help people who has this or that. So it's like a puzzle that gets built up step by step. But I think the most, and if I want to like give you a proper answer, it's just you gotta love what you do, because you're gonna have a lot of ups and downs, and if you don't love it, on the downs you're gonna stop, and on the love you're gonna feel like this extreme high. But if you just love it, it's gonna be like a constant of a bliss. It peaks a little and drops a little, but you're gonna stay always in a good place.
Wow. When did your social media sort of blow up? And did you change anything? Did you pivot anything? Or were you doing the exact same thing?
No. Look, there's only one constant on life, which is change, right? So once you understand this concept and you say, as I always say, the only thing I know is that I know nothing. So I'm always keen to learn, to change. I never say that, yeah, I'm right and everyone's wrong. I'm always, especially few people that are in my life that I love them so much, I always listen to what they say. So back then, okay, my social media was not doing like before 2003. My social media wasn't that good. Okay, so I said, let me try to create something new. And I always try to. I get inspired from other videos and stuff like that, but I always try to create my own, not copy. Right? Be inspired and then create my own. And then I decided to do this video of my goals, and I started a series of me talking to myself. I don't know if you watch those videos. So it's me in two characters, one wearing black, all black, and it's a bit dark, and one wearing white and all lights. So the dark and the enlightened. It's me, I'm talking to myself, which is actually the two people inside of me. And then I talk about a problem, and the enlightened give a solution for the one in dark. And then I posted the goal, and then I've done 12 videos. I remember very well because I have them on my book. And on the 13 videos, I made one which was talking about dopamine, how we are always chasing phones and like chasing all those quick hit. And this video, bro, and this video, and the day before that I posted about my goals, the day after I posted this video, in 2 3 days, my Instagram blew up. I kept posting. I kept posting, and from I had like maybe 12,000 followers over the last 4 years, and in 3 weeks, in 2 weeks, I jumped from 12,000 to 120,000 followers in 3 weeks. My Instagram was blowing up, man. My DM, like plenty of people, everyone sending me, thank you for your videos and all that. So, and the good thing is I kept on posting. So I was building whenever it was the iron is hot, I kept on hitting the iron. I kept on hitting the iron. And that gave me, to be honest, gave me a boost that I'm doing good. You know what I mean? Because yeah, it's been 4 years that I'm always creating and uploading to myself. And it's just nice sometimes to see other people uploading for you. And then we did the world record, which gave me another boost. And then my goals, I started achieving one of them. And then I met Sadhguru. And then I did another long run. So it's like step by step.
That's amazing, Rami. Do you still create your like content daily? Like who plans it? Who comes up with the idea? Who edits it? Are you still doing it every day?
When I'm inspired, yes, I love to post every day. Like I have a lot to share, and to be honest, like every day you live, you can learn something from this day and you can create a video about it. When I'm inspired, I love to create every day. Whenever I'm not, I always take a time off, completely off from social media. I don't see social media. I don't post anything on social media. I just try to spend my time alone, read, run, whatever it is. Yeah, I love videos is something that I love because videos are things that help me become better. Because if I'm doing something and I'm creating a video, I wanted to create something beautiful. So it pushes me to do something more beautiful. And me pushing myself to do something more and more beautiful pushes the video to become more beautiful. So it's like the videos, I say it's a partner in my life that we help each other to grow.
I love that. Tell me about the 100 kilometer run. Like, were you training every day? Like, what was your regimen? Did you do short runs, long runs, or did you just do 10 kilometers every day and then on the day you did 100?
No, it was an intense program that I trained for 3 months. I was training like around 7 hours per day, 7 to 8 hours. So in the morning, AM workout, and then rest, and then PM workout. I was doing runs. I was loading around 100 kilometer every week. So yeah, so it was really intense. I wanted to stretch myself to see how far can I go. I was fully ready and fully prepared. We had some issue in the actual run with my gut that I had a gel. I fucking hate gels. So fucking processed. So so I know this thought, but I don't know why on the run I said I can try it a little bit, and then it fucked up my gut. So it slowed me down, and I wasn't feeling really well while running. So my body didn't want to run. It was like not good, but because I said I want to run, so I gave my best.
What was the prior record before you got the world record?
I didn't get the world record, so I had to run more than 110 kilometers for Guinness in 12 hours for Guinness to consider it a world record. And I ran 105.
So close.
Yeah.
And how did that make you feel? And are you going to try again?
Trying again, it will come at the right time. I wanted to sit with failure a little bit because 2023 was all success, and whenever you are always succeeding, you forget what it means to fall. So I wanted to sit down with the fall. For me, honestly, I proved to myself what I always wanted to prove to myself. I was lazy and I was not that physically strong, and I put some physical goals for me to prove to myself that I can achieve everything that I say I want to achieve. I know that I didn't achieve the record, so I fell down the first 2 weeks, to be completely honest, which is normal. But then I said, I learned so much from this experience, and I learned so much of actually not achieving the goal, how to always stay humble and always remind yourself, like, to not let your ego control you. So this is the two big lessons. And then am I gonna do it again? I think I will whenever I feel I just will. If I want to do it, I just will do it to let it just because it's unfinished business. You know what I mean? So that's it. But the all the rest is I prove to myself what I always wanted to prove to myself, and especially like as I told you. You remember when I told you you're an entrepreneur and a spiritual seeker? Also, there is a third pillar, an athlete, a pro athlete. I can't be a pro athlete, an entrepreneur, a spiritual seeker. Maybe a pro athlete and spiritual seeker will come a little bit hand in hand, but to focus on Let's Live, to focus on the book, to focus on a lot of things, train that much, and be a spiritual seeker, it doesn't work that way. So now I wanna grow Let's Live. It's like the book is out. I wanna try to spread the book as much as I can, help people individually with our events. So I think it will be selfish of me to let go of all that to say, yeah, I want to break the record. Whenever I find a nice cause that might pushes me, that might ignite me in a way that I will give this challenge and this pain and all this what I'm passed through for a reason, yeah, maybe I think I will do it again. You know what I mean?
I love that. Such great self awareness, Rami. When you do like 100 kilometer plus barefoot run, do you have breaks in between to drink water, to eat food, to change clothes, or is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely, man. First, food is very important because once you start running more than an hour and a half, your body is always taking fuel from what you eat. You don't have any more reserve or all that. You go to the toilet, you take small break, like 3, 5 minutes, change. Yeah, sometimes you change the shorts. I don't change the shoes because I'm running barefoot, but I mean, um, yeah.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, man, of course.
And then you talked about how every morning you wake up, 4 a.m. you read a book. What type of books have you been reading as of recent?
I'm reading a book. I don't wake up at 4 a.m. every day, okay? Because I don't want people to think like my 5:30, 6 a.m. is my sweet spot. But sometimes if I wake up earlier, I'm happy to wake up, you know. I'm reading a book called The Immune System, which explains exactly how the immune system works, and it's fucking mind blowing, bro. It's fucking mind blowing. And I'm reading another book about it's called The Prophet for Khalil Gibran. Gibran Khalil Gibran. He's a Lebanese philosopher. And funny enough that I've been reading his stuff in all the English books and all the different authors that I've read, and everyone talks so much about him. And I said, why don't I read his books, man? So he's Lebanese. He's a great philosopher. So now, yeah, I was reading his book. It's like always feed your mind with food for thoughts.
Yeah, I think I recently ordered that in Amazon Prime Day, so that book is going to come, so I'm going to read that book as well. How did you go about studying all the different religions? Like, did you read the Bible, read the Quran? How did you go about in Hinduism? What was your way of learning?
You know, funny enough that I like to learn from religion, not from the official book that they release, you know? So I read like some, let's say, priest or sheikhs or like that they wrote some books, you know what I mean? Because that gives you a way that to look at religion from a different perspective than what everyone have been given, right? And sometimes I read books about people who are skeptic about this religion, you know, and that what gave me a very nice picture because like if I say if 100 people say Andy is not a good person, right? 100 people say Andy is not a good person, Andy is not a good person, and then you have another 10 people saying Andy is a good person, you can question yourself, is Andy really a bad person or is Andy really good that he's really making those 100 people not happy because he's not doing what they wanted, you know what I mean? It just gives you this space of reasoning and deciding yourself.
It's so good that you're like always consuming knowledge and reading. Have you always been a reader? Like, what was your career prior to 2017?
I was a magician, man. No, I was never a reader that much, but once I wanted to change my life, I said, when I was a magician, sometimes I used to read, and uh, and that's why it made me like I was a really good magician in Lebanon, special than the others, right? Because I always read three different perspectives about magician. I read about performance, especially about like performing. The thing is, when you read, if I show you a trick now, let's say, and you want to learn the trick, not learning just the trick, you're trying to copy me somehow. But once you read it, you let yourself, your creative mind create it. You know what I mean? So reading has a lot of power because once, even when you're reading someone's autobiography, you're relating it to your life somehow. So you're gonna become reading a story of your life, maybe a story of your life that you haven't lived yet. But just let your mind stretch into this dimension.
I love that. When it comes to reading, like, there's just so many knowledge. Like, for example, diet. How do you know, well, what is your diet like, Rami? Because there's people talk about carnivore diet, intermittent fasting, vegan, no meat. There's so many information out there. Is there a right diet?
I will simplify it. Uh, Skip some meals and eat as natural as possible. That's my diet. Like I always have 14 to 18 hours no food, right? And then whenever I eat, especially when I'm in Lebanon, man, I'm blessed. I have official olive oil from my grandpa, yogurt from my grandpa's farm, milk from my auntie's farm, like butter, raw butter from the village, watermelon from this farm. Like I'm blessed to be honest. I'm blessed. Like I have all the natural stuff. My mom cooks really good food. When I'm in Lebanon, I don't cook. Like I let my mom take care of me because in Dubai I cook my own food. So I just try to keep it natural as possible and not overeat. I always feel like even though like I train, like I burn between 1,000 and 2,000 calories a day in my workouts, other than my body. So I always try to stay in this lane. Like it's not that I count them, but I just feel them. Like well, I never feel bloated. I never feel like I overate. If I felt like I overate after 5 minutes, I'm good because I know that my body used all what I ate. And I think this is the ultimate tips for health. You just eat. There's a saying that say, like I'm not sure. I don't remember very well, but if you can eat like a poor, you're gonna live a good life. You know what I mean? Like a plate, not a big plate, because like fancy buffet and all that, it's like I want to eat more. And that's where sickness starts. Right? Just eat as much as you can and stop. That's it.
When you're fasting 14 to 18 hours a day, does that mean you eat one meal a day? And do you do that in the morning, nighttime? When do you usually eat the one meal?
No, one meal is not enough for me because especially when I'm running, because running burns a lot of calories. Like you need those things. I usually eat 2 meals or 3 meals. And trust me, Andy, if you see me eat, you will say, "How the fuck this skinny guy is eating that much?" It's like if I eat, I eat. I eat fruits. I start with fruit and vegetables, and then I eat the official meal, and then maybe I eat again fruits. I eat, man. So 2 meals, sometimes three. But yeah, I try to space out the meals and let my body digest between a meal and meal. And especially if I'm moving a lot, I always eat very less, like just to fuel me. Like that, I can stay more focused.
I love that. Last two questions I usually end the podcast with. One, any recent discoveries that you've implemented to your day-to-day life, Rami?
Any recent discovery that I implemented?
To your day-to-day life.
Mm, recent now is just I dig deep in what I know. Like I knew I yesterday I posted a video about breakfast, how breakfast was invented for Kellogg to sell their cereals, and we never had the privilege of breakfast. That's my story and my research, because I always think that way. When we were ancestors, like no, there's no fridge, no houses. We were like in tents and all that. We didn't keep food from one day to another. So when we used to wake up, we didn't used to have breakfast. This breakfast thing didn't even exist. We used to wake up and walk to prepare for the hunt. Yes, in the middle of the walk, we might have eaten a fruit or a veggie, and then for the official hunt. So let's say this week, I discovered really I made some research on that. When was breakfast invented, how it was invented, and how Europe took this concept and implemented for croissant and donuts, which is the shittiest stuff you can eat in the morning. So those are my recent discoveries. Like I know what's right and what's wrong, but now it's like I'm taking a small aspects of something. Like now also the immune system. I know how the immune system functions and stuff, but now I'm looking deep in the immune system, in the monocytes, in the B cells, in the T cells, how all that. So those are my recent discovery the past say week. Every week I have a recent discovery.
I love that. By the way, are you sitting on a couch? It's really cool. Is it like what type of couch are you sitting on? It's a really cool shape. Is it?
Yeah. It is this couch.
Ah.
So I don't sit. Uh, so I can sit in the couch, but I sit on the edge of the couch because like that I'm more. I feel like I'm more out there, not on a couch. You know what I mean?
I love that. Last question, Rami. What's your any personal goals or focus over the next 6 months?
The next 6 months. All right. So now I'm traveling on Monday. I have a workshop in Greece next Monday. Like in three. I have a workshop in Lebanon on Sunday, Monday in Greece, and then I'm invited to a workshop in Germany. I have few ideas that are in my mind, and I have the goals that I already posted the video. But I'm taking this 7 days in Europe to let my mind connect whatever feels right for me, and then I decide in the beginning of August how to look into the next part of the year, because I still have a lot to accomplish this year. But now my main focus and what like I'm grateful and blessed for, like everyone who's buying the book, they are giving me a nice review. They are like finding so many things in the book. So I want to now also focus on the book to deliver the book. Like I worked so hard. The book has 4 years of a lot of self-discovery, a lot of experiences, a lot of discoveries, and now it took me a year to write it and another 6 months to publish it. So now I just want to give it some time to like let the tree of this book grow and like stretch and expand and let people understand, because it simplifies life and it gives a lot of meaning in life and makes people just take it easy on themselves, because I realized how much we self-sabotage, regret, and look like all those negative, how we look at them at ourselves. And this book is just to show you that it's simple, bro. Don't put that much burden on you, because trust me, you and me, Andy, in 100 years, we're not gonna be here, man. So so that's if you want my main focus, and there's other extension that I will discover them in the next 10 days, hopefully.
I love that, Rami. I remember watching one of your videos talking about the book, and you're talking about how you're like, hey, like, don't buy it if you just want to support me. Buy it if you want to read it. Buy it if you have the urge to read it. And I was like, wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, man. It's like that's what I said. Even I said to my family, they say, "Hey, we want to support you. Want to buy the book?" I said, "No, no, no. I don't want you to buy the book to support me. You know, uh, I am. I wrote this book because it has a beautiful message. The only way you can support me, if you can take the book and read it. That's how you can actually support me, because you're gonna become better. You're gonna discover something about your life, and you become better. I become better. Life becomes better, man."
I love that, Rami. Rami, where can the viewers get more of you?
everyone can buy the book. It's called Let's Live. It's all on Amazon. In the US, it's found on Kindle and Amazon. In the UAE, you can buy it from our website. In Lebanon, like from our also website, but it's available all around the world. Whenever you write Let's Live, Ramy Naouss, you can find the book. I am on all the social media platforms. TikTok is in Arabic, Instagram is in English, YouTube is in English. So yeah, and now I'm focusing more on YouTube, like a longer form video, like talking more in depth, and I'm gonna make a video discussing more the book and working on doing an audio book as well. So that's it, man.
I love it. We'll link it all in the description below. One quick question. What was the process like writing the book and getting it published? Did you find a partner? Was it self-published? How was it difficult? How did you figure it out on your own?
It's I had a publishing company that is called Passionpreneur. They are amazing. I love them. Very professional, and like they supported me in a nice way. Like we support each other in a very nice way. I wrote the book word by word. They helped me with the outlines. They helped me with the cover. Like I made the picture, but they gave me an idea. They are amazing people, and they helped me so much with the book. I actually recommend people who want to really do their first book. If you want to do it by your own, it's gonna take you so much time of understanding what's the process. So it's better to pay people who understand what they are doing, and you just giving the value. For me, it was what was very important for me is to write my words. However, I spoke with you. When you read my book, you're gonna feel the same. You're gonna hear my voice in your ear. It's exactly how I speak. So that was very crucial, and it's exactly my ideas. It's exactly what I wanted to deliver. And the rest, there are pro people that they do this job better than me. So I like when we came hand in hand, it was published, and the process is once you write the book, the process is very boring, man. It's just you have to check, wait for the approval, check this, check grammar mistake. They check and check and check and check. That's it. For 6 months. That's it.
Love it. Thank you so much for your time today, Ramy. I love how passionate you are. You have such great vibrations, great energy. You're such a great listener. So I'm very grateful to have you on. And after this, I'm gonna give barefoot running a try.
Sure, man, Andy. I'm so happy to share this with you. I'm so happy that I met you, and I'm gonna also keep on following your journey. And anything you have, any questions, please, man, reach out. I'll be more than happy to help.
Thank you so much, Ramy. Guys, if you made it this far into the episode, hopefully you guys got some value. Please let me know your thoughts. I'll see you guys next week on another episode of the podcast. Peace.
Amazing, Andy. Well, thank you, bro. It was so nice seeing you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ramy. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful week. I really appreciate your time today. Love your energy, and I'll let you know how the barefoot running goes.
Yes, please do, man.
Thanks, Ramy. Bye.
Okay, bro. Yeah, ciao, ciao.